There are some things within the Lolita community that I feel really nostalgic about. Things from 2013, 2014, when I was starting to get into Lolita. And the Lolita community changes so rapidly that we've actually lost a lot of what used to make it. It's evolved so quickly, and it's actually insane to think that I haven't even been into the fashion for 10 years, and yet the Lolita community is such a different place. In fact, the whole of Lolita fashion is so different from when I started. But there are things from before my time that have always intrigued me, and I've always wanted to know more about them, and Princess Portal is one of those things. A lot of people talk about how they miss Princess Portal and how things just haven't been the same since Princess Portal. So today I thought I'd look at Princess Portal because I've never actually looked at it before, and I really want to understand what made it so special. So in order to access the Princess Portal, you actually have to use the Wayback Machine, as the site is no longer there. And in case you never heard of the Princess Portal before, it's a blog started by an Australian Lolita called Sky, who wrote that the blog was about finding your inner princess and living every day with beauty, grace, and a sense of childlike wonder. So that's about as much as I know about Princess Portal, and I think that we should just explore the site and see what it has to offer, see why it was so special to so many people. So let's go to the princess page. Maybe this is about her. Sky writes that she has always loved fairy tales. As a little girl, I soaked up stories like a sponge cake until my head was full of damsels and knights, witches and unicorns, and I could tell you 4 ways to test a prince and what not to do when you met a dragon. There are things I'm told we're supposed to give up as we grow up, but I've always asserted that growing old may be a fact of life, but growing up is entirely optional. At heart, I'm a very romantic person, not in the way the word is used today, but in the old-fashioned sense. I see the world through rose-coloured glasses and try my hardest to find the beauty and magic in our mundane reality. I still love stories. I am always reading, usually more than 1 book at a time, and I enjoy watching beautiful films that dazzle the senses and enchant the mind. I am always seeking inspiration, and wherever I find it, I leave a little bookmark. My code is to live life with beauty, love, and wonder, enjoying every day on its own and appreciating life's little pleasures. I have my flaws. I am hopelessly decadent, far too attached to material possessions, not very responsible, and awfully selfish. I hope you forgive me these a little, as I haven't made much of a dent in them yet. Perhaps someday responsibility will catch up with me, but I have evaded it so far. I like to imagine things, to create stories and dream dreams. I make wishes and invent worlds, but I do know the line between fantasy and reality. Please do not mistake my ability to believe in fairies for a lack of logic or delusion. I think believing in things makes them a little bit real, don't you? The way that she, like in her description, the way that she kind of explained herself and like described how she sees the world is like the reason that I kind of got into Lolita. I see myself so much in her. It's actually crazy. It's actually insane. I don't know if this is common in Lolita fashion. I know that a lot of people get into it through like anime, and people get into it through like dressmaking and like historical fashion and things like that. But for me, it was always like I wanted to dress like a princess. I guess like I've always considered myself a bit of a princess because my name is Sarah, which means princess. And I think I've really lost that recently. I don't know, reading this, it's exactly like I can feel those feelings again. The princess concept. I feel that I ought to clarify this. I use the term princess a great deal on this site, and I do not mean the official title of an existing monarchy. Neither do I mean the rather negative connotation it has recently acquired to do with spoilt girls who always get their way, or prissy popular teenagers. When I say princess, I am referring to the romantic ideal the term has acquired over many centuries of use in stories, as the ideal that many little girls hope to live up to. I truly believe that all girls are princesses, whether they be beautiful or plain, young or old, rich or poor, whether they wear silk dresses and drink tea or wear jeans and drink soda. Deep inside, we are all precious, beautiful, and worth loving. There is a little bit of nobility in each of us. And if we recognize that and come to accept that we are amazing and special, we can learn to love and respect ourselves. I don't know if anyone else did this. I mean, I assume a lot of people did this, because if you wear Lolita fashion, you're probably into this kind of princessy kind of fairy tale stuff. But I still, even to this day, try and imitate the kind of romantic serenity of a princess's life, if you get what I mean. I think we all do as well, you know, drinking tea out of pretty teacups and looking at the world and just appreciating nature and all those kinds of things, and just being kind to people. It just is something that I was so drawn to, and I still am so drawn to, but sometimes I do forget as well to kind of take that time and kind of pull myself back into the person I want to be, even though there are moments in my life still where I try and be the person that I was so desperate to be when I was younger. I still kind of lose that, and I think I get a bit washed up in kind of negative emotion and like anger and jealousy and things like that, like I really do. And I never wanted to be someone who was like that. I never wanted to kind of feel that, but I think everyone does feel emotions like that. But you kind of have to recognize it and choose to push past it. And I think really recently as well, I've been so tired and so focused on other things that I haven't really been able to take the focus and kind of put it onto myself. I haven't really been able to focus on being the best me I can be and being the kindest person as well that I can be. Anyway, there's so much more. Let's go to the Daily Stars. This is such a sappy video. I'm not even gonna lie. Normal Sarah will be back next time. Oh my gosh. This is really why I got into Lolita, seeing these beautiful pictures. I just miss feeling like this. Like even the like lace canopy thing that she has over her bed, I used to have one of those. It wasn't mine, it was my little sister's, but she never used it. I don't even know where it is now. But I would love another one in my room. And her little, like, all of this is just daily outfits. I rarely wear Lolita daily anymore. Lolita has changed so much from what it was in the past. Princess Peachy's videos really introduced me to Lolita, and obviously she didn't wear brand back then. All her dresses were replicas or bodyline. It was a very different time to wear Lolita, and things didn't have to be so polished. It was more about kind of capturing that kind of fairy tale romantic beauty, and I think we've really lost that. I think we've become so pernickety about like what we put together. It has to be this way, it has to be that way, that we've kind of just lost that kind of sense of being able to wear it however we want. But here you can see like she's not wearing a petticoat, she's wearing camisoles, she's wearing cutsos, she's not even wearing socks in some of them, but she's still looks like a Lolita. Anyway, I think I've done enough rambling on this topic. I think I definitely want to get back into dressing in the style I used to dress like this, and I used to think that I looked terrible, but I mean this is exactly what I used to wear. I used to wear things like this and it doesn't look bad. It just doesn't look wow, flashy. It's just so casual and simple and princessy. Let's have a look at princess lessons. The art of bathing. I believe one of the simplest daily pleasures is bathing. I think it's sad that many of us don't really get to enjoy this ritual anymore. We take a quick shower before work or school, just enough to get clean, but without the relaxation that comes with a nice long soak in the tub. Set aside a good hour or so to enjoy your bath and have a little princess time to yourself. Turn off the TV or loud music, put on some relaxing classical or new age music if you like, and close the door. Set everything up nicely from the start with your soaps and oils, all close at hand, and have a soft, fluffy dressing gown and slippers waiting for you when you emerge. You might even like to light some candles and create a special atmosphere. You can add so many beautiful smelling things that are great for your skin too. Here are a few suggestions. Bath salts, Epsom salts, dried or fresh flowers, seaweed, essential oils, rolled oats, powdered milk, herbs, spices, bath melts, and bath bombs/fizzes. And then she's included a little recipe. I've recently rediscovered baths as well, like really recently, maybe in the past 2 months. I guess because it is winter here, so it gets really cold, and so I've started bathing again, and oh my goodness, I love it. Again, I feel like it's just kind of bringing you back to just appreciating the lovely and beautiful things in the world. Anyway, I really do like that her lessons are about things that really do better you as a human being, not just like in the way that you act towards other people, but also the way that you act towards yourself, you know, self-love, giving yourself baths and sleeping better, and learning poetry and things like that. Little things that you can do to just appreciate yourself, and really love yourself. I can understand why people were like miss Princess Portal. I can understand why people miss Princess Portal. I can understand why people are nostalgic for it as well. It's such a beautiful concept, and I think it's something we are missing in the Lolita community right now. I don't think we have that kind of sense of beautifulness as a community. We have a lot of places where we kind of discuss Lolita fashion. It's become a lot more materialistic. I think a lot of people kind of shouted, Lolita's not a subculture, it's a sub-style, and it really has just become a style of fashion. You can do whatever you want in it, you can spelunk in it, but that was, I think there is so much more to Lolita fashion than that. I think you can wear it as a fashion, but I think you really do miss out on what Lolita fashion is about if you just treat it as a fashion. There's so much more to it, and there's so much that you can gain from it. If we treat it more as like a semi-subculture, I think we would create a better atmosphere for Lolitas. I think we have become very negative because of how materialistic and how fashion oriented it is. I think we need to draw it back and have somewhere to discuss teas and things like that. Princess Portal really captures something that we lost in the mid-2010s, like 2015 onwards. Lolita fashion became a lot more materialistic when it became a lot more accessible, and I think I was lucky that I joined in the tail end of when it was more about the kind of culture behind it and more about the daily lifestyle that you led, and less about the clothes. And well, I mean, it was about the clothes, but there wasn't such a focus on amazing coordination back then. And looking back on it now, I can see that there are definitely things that we really have lost and things that we need to reconnect with as a community. But I'm really happy I took a look at Princess Portal. It's made me think about the way that I view Lolita now and how it's changed and how I want to be when I don't wear Lolita. And I'm going to try and be the best me that I can be, and I think that's really what Princess Portal was about. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching my video, and thank you for liking, commenting and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Mwah!